I'm gonna show you how to use all of that pulled pork in a few super delicious, comforting, food coma inducing recipes. We're gonna go pulled pork mac and cheese. We're gonna use that mac and cheese to make some pulled pork croissantwiches. And then I got some rice paper, which you know that it's gonna be something good and crispy when I pull that out. So without further ado, let's go. Let's start with the mac and cheese. Cutting up the cheese into little pieces because I don't have a cheese grater. A little bit of prep is gonna go a long way into making sure that the cheese melts a lot more evenly, efficiently, rapidly, all of those things. Got smoked Gouda right here. Gonna remove the rinds. Obviously they're not gonna melt. I like eating them because they have a little more texture, but I'm gonna set them aside for now because we aren't putting that in the mac and cheese. Mozzarella for meltiness. Sharp cheddar, it melts really well and also has that nice salty flavor. What is mac and cheese without cheddar? If I had Kraft singles, I'd put that in there too, but we're gonna do things from scratch today. Got our cheese. That's pretty much all the prep, so take this aside. Got my stove. Nice and rich butter. Just want enough to cover all the cheese. I'm gonna raise the heat a little bit to get that milk starting to simmer. I don't really want it bubbling because then it's gonna curdle if I do that. Milk is just about there. I think that I added enough milk in here to also boil the macaroni. Make sure you don't do these two things at the same time. Cook it at super high heat and then just let it sit there. The milk will curdle, the cheese will get burnt and crispy on the outside, and it won't fully melt and incorporate like you want it to be for mac and cheese. Just gotta keep mixing it as it reduces down and thickens to that goop that we all know and love to be macaroni and cheese. Add a little fish sauce for umami. Always need black pepper. And then a little kick. Now one more thing, like I said, you don't want the burnt edges unless you really do want it. I'm gonna keep on stirring it like this while the pot cools down after I remove it from the heat. What I'm gonna put on the heat next is some pork butt, and I'm gonna sear it so that I get the outside caramelized. Remember the Maillard reaction I talked about that is necessary in the formation of the bark? That happens over a long period of time, but if you do it over high heat, it happens really fast. You get those nice seared edges that you know what it is. Now you know the reason why. On the pan. You don't even need oil because there's already so much fat in here already. I'm just laying it as flat as I can so that more edges crisp up and give it that nice caramelized crispy outside. Look at that. That pork is crispy. We're gonna take it up even one notch further. I'm gonna get this stovetop back out, get it hot. Got a croissant, or a croissant as they might say. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, then you guys tell me how the French say it. I'm gonna spread some mayo. Why mayo? Well, it's got fat and it's got protein. The fat's gonna have a higher specific heat and allow the croissant to absorb heat. The protein and everything that caramelizes through the Maillard reaction, there's gonna be a little bit of crust too. And that's what we want crust. Spread this on the inside too, to give a dry crust on the inside so that it doesn't get soggy once you put stuff inside. So I put a little bit too much mayo on the inside pieces when you consider that croissants have a lot of oil in them already. So I decided not to put any on the outside when I flipped it, and I think it's gonna turn out just fine. I don't know what your guys' tolerance level for burntness is, but mine's pretty high. We're gonna go macaroni. Some more cheese just for that melty texture. We've already got a lot in the mac and cheese, which is going in here. Pork. Take this, haphazardly flip it again. One more flip, close it up like this. And actually, I'm gonna make a little Vietnamese caramel barbecue sauce. So take this off. Another pan, all you gotta do is melt some sugar. Gotta get a little brown and melty. Trust the process. Garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, fish sauce, cream, that's really nice. Back to the main show here. croissant. That's gonna put me down. This Vietnamese caramel cream barbecue sauce is so toasty. It's so good. Especially with all this, like the smoked flavor and the mac and cheese and the croissant, the buttery flakiness. Oh, it's so good. Okay, grill's back. For the last one, we're gonna make some Vietnamese pizza, banhtrangnuong. Self-explanatory. Pizza, that's a pizza. Banhtrang, rice paper. So let's do it. Grill on, pan on, and pork to warm it up, and that's to oil the pan. Cut side, back on. One rice paper, water droplets, second rice paper. Whisk that egg till it turns from snot into jam. You need everything to cook down and thicken up. The egg gives it a little crust, not mandatory. You know, you can use mayo or something, but I think egg always works best. It is the original method. Get your cheese ready to melt down with it, and then your sauce. Here's that Vietnamese caramel cream barbecue sauce from earlier. Pork from earlier. A little bit more cheese. Close it up and let it melt. Oh yeah. Light, flaky, crispy, smoky from the pulled pork and the Vietnamese caramel cream sauce. Oh man, I'm gonna go to sleep now because that was so good. And I think I've enjoyed like a week or a month's worth of enjoyment that you could have out of food. And it was also pretty fatty and like food coma type food, but that's what this is about. That's what barbecue is about. I think it's like the peak of enjoyment of meat. And when you do it Texas style, you're gonna get that smokiness, you're gonna get that full fat rendering mouthfeel. It's gonna be teeth optional. So like I said, your grandma, grandpa in the nursing home, they could have some of this. And if that's not it, these recipes that I just made, the mac and cheese, the croissant melt, the pizza right here, if that doesn't convince you to try it, then I don't even know what's wrong with you. You should go to a doctor though. Till next time, guys. Just kidding, I gotta clean up first, because